The house stood silent, shrouded in the darkness of the night. Only the occasional creak echoed through its empty halls, a haunting reminder of the life it once held. Inside, a family slept, unaware of the presence that lurked in the shadows. For years, they had mourned the loss of their daughter, Lily. She had been taken too soon, her laughter silenced by the cruel hand of fate. But tonight, Lily returned. Not as the lively girl they remembered, but as a restless spirit seeking solace in the only place she had ever called home. As the clock struck midnight, a chill descended upon the house. The air grew thick with anticipation, as if the very walls were holding their breath. And then, it began. At first, it was subtle. A whisper in the wind, a faint giggle that danced on the edge of perception. But soon, it escalated. Objects began to move of their own accord. Shadows danced in the corners of the room, and strange noises echoed through the halls. The family dismissed it as their imagination at first, but as the days passed, the occurrences became harder to ignore. They found themselves waking in the middle of the night to find their belongings rearranged, their footsteps echoed by unseen feet, and a feeling of unease settled over the house like a shroud. But it was when they saw her that they truly understood the horror that had befallen them. Lily appeared to them in fleeting glimpses, her form ethereal and insubstantial. Her eyes, once bright with life, now glowed with an otherworldly light, filled with a sorrow that chilled them to the bone. They tried to reach out to her, to make sense of what was happening, but she remained just out of reach, a specter from beyond the grave. And as the days turned into weeks, her presence grew more malevolent, her actions more sinister. She whispered lies into their ears, turning them against each other with her twisted words. She manipulated their fears, feeding off their despair like a vulture preying on the weak. And as the family crumbled under the weight of her influence, they realized that they were no longer safe in their own home. Desperate for answers, they sought out help from those who claimed to understand the supernatural. But with each failed attempt to banish Lily's spirit, they only seemed to anger her further. She lashed out with increasing ferocity, tormenting them with visions of their worst nightmares made flesh. And then, one fateful night, as the family huddled together in fear, they heard her voice for the last time. It was a whispered apology, filled with the anguish of a soul torn asunder. And as the first rays of dawn broke through the darkness, Lily's spirit faded into the ether, leaving behind nothing but echoes of loss. The family was never the same after that night. Though they tried to move on, the memory of Lily's haunting lingered like a stain upon their souls. And as they lay awake at night, listening to the quiet of the house, they couldn't help but wonder if she was truly gone, or if her spirit still lingered, waiting to claim them once more.